In the golden age of myth, across the sparkling waters of ancient Lanka, a figure stood at the precipice of his destiny. Ravana 10, headed 20-armed, crowned with ambition and intellect, dominated an island paradise from his legendary throne. To many, he is the quintessential villain, the abductor of Sita, the destroyer of dharma, the demon king whose arrogance brought about his ruin. But, as with all epics, the truth is far richer and far more complicated. If you ask the average person who Ravana was, you might hear the same tale. An evil force, vanquished by the righteous Prince Rama in the Ramayana, the great demon who challenged the gods themselves. Yet inside the silken halls of Lanka, within the quiet flicker of candlelight, Ravana's story was anything but one-dimensional. He wasn't born a monster. Ravana was a scholar, a master of the Vedas, a composer, a ruler who brought unity, prosperity, and innovation to his people. His kingdom was famed for advancements unimagined on the subcontinent, his palace an architectural marvel so dazzling that even his enemies could not help but admire it. To his subjects, Ravana was a just king, a builder, a devotee of Shiva, and a protector. In old texts, he is sometimes referred to as the greatest Shiva bhakt to ever live. But power and pride are intoxicating. Ravana's ascent from pious ruler to legendary villain is lined with choices that blur the borders of heroism and tragedy. It started, as many tragedies do, with devotion and a wish. Seeking the favor of Shiva, Ravana performed intense penance, risking his very life. He is said to have sliced off each of his 10 heads one by one as an offering, until Shiva finally moved. Blessed him with boons, near invincibility, wisdom unrivaled, and powers that made gods tremble. With these gifts, Ravana's ambitions grew ever greater, but so too did his pride. Confident that he was beyond defeat, Ravana expanded his kingdom, conquering realms, learning every secret of the universe. Disregarding ancient warnings about balance and humility, for a time Lanka thrived under his rule. Arts, science, literature reached their peak. Yet the world he had subdued could not forgive his hubris. And there, amid the splendor of his court, fate placed Sita, a woman whose presence would unravel the king's legend. Some call her Ravana's greatest mistake, others, his test. The abduction of Sita. Was it lecherous lust, as the poets tell us? Or was something deeper at play? Some ancient scripts hint at vengeance, a twisted fulfillment of cosmic destiny, or even an attempt to expose the frailties of the gods he both envied and admired. Scholars still debate whether Ravana's act was pure villainy or a desperate attempt to fill an unseen void. What's clear is that by taking Sita, Ravana set the stage for his own destruction. He underestimated Rama in exile, a mortal, but a hero molded by dharma. The subsequent war was brutal, epic, legendary. Elephants, chariots, the flying pushpaka, vimana, storms of arrows filling the sky. Ravana, sure of his own righteousness, held off Rama's armies with intellect and supernatural strength. The conflict wasn't just military, it was ideological. Pride versus humility, chaos versus order, love versus obsession. Yet in the heart of all this, Ravana maintained his own peculiar code. He never touched Sita without her consent. He offered her comfort, respect, perhaps even reverence. For all his might, he placed her protection above his own happiness. Some say that, in this restraint, Ravana proved he was not merely a villain, but a man wrestling with his own demons. Was this weakness, or a final echo of nobility from a king lost to his own darkness? With each loss, his generals, his brothers, even his beloved son, Ravana's pride chipped away. His final battle with Rama is the stuff of legend. Arrows with spells, chariots driven by gods, a duel of both strength and ideals. When at last Rama's arrow found its mark, it was not just the body of a tyrant that fell, but the entire weight of a complicated legacy. And yet, when the war was over, Rama ordered that Ravana's body be given a king's funeral, and for a moment even the gods were silent. Was this the fate of a villain, or that of a tragic hero who flew too close to the sun? Ravana was the necessary Evelan agent of destiny, a scapegoat for the world's darkness. To others, he was a warning of genius destroyed by arrogance, of power untempered by humility. Today, in certain corners of India and Sri Lanka, Ravana is remembered not just as a demon king, but as a poet, a monarch, a misunderstood genius. Effigies of Ravana burn every year on Dussehra, even as songs of his wisdom are still sung. Statues rise in his honor, even as stories remind us of his fall. So which is it? Was Ravana the villain cruel, vengeful, envious? Or was he the tragic hero gifted and cursed, undone by his own greatness? The truth, as always, lies somewhere in between, in the scars of ambition, seduction of pride, and the bittersweet legacy of a king who could have been a god.